Since the bucking episode on Prairie this past Wednesday, I've been spending a lot more time doing the preliminary work with him to make sure he's obeying me, he accepts me as his leader, and he realizes that he's not supposed to be the one making the decisions. And the past couple of days, I've spent about 10 minutes before each lesson just round penning him a little bit. Not hard, not to break a sweat, not to make him scared or anything like that, just to make sure that I get his obedience and compliance. And I'm not trying to get a perfect canter there. I was just making sure that he would obey me. And I'm asking him to canter. He's not cantering. There. I've got a lunge whip in my hand, and I can just touch his butt with it. And just as important as making the horse move is telling him when he can rest. When, where, and how. So that's what I'm doing right there. After you let them stand around a while and just scratch them on their withers and whatnot, they don't want to be left behind. They want to stay with you. So that's what he's doing here. He's kind of following me around a little bit. So I groomed him, got him tacked up, and now we're just going to review a few of the very basic things that he first learned back in the beginning. So I'm doing some flexions with him. He started to walk off, so I stopped him. And then we're going to do a little bit of overbending. And he doesn't quite bend as far as I'd like him to. So I ask him again. And that time he comes back farther, there, on his own. I didn't pull him back. Now I want to work on staying soft. And he's a little harder here. I'm having trouble getting his attention. He's paying a lot of attention to what's going on outside the arena, which is nothing. But he does kind of give in a big way. And now we're working on muscle knots. He's got some hard spots at the base of his neck. This isn't a very good angle, but at least you can see from his reactions, it looks like he's feeling something. He's kind of pressing his nose up against my arm there. I think he's kind of enjoying it. And of course, we do everything on both sides. I'm not showing that in the video, but we do. And now we're practicing the lateral engaging step, which he does like a champ. He does this very well. At least from the ground. In the saddle, he doesn't bend and stretch nearly as much. And this is the same thing in the other direction. We also practiced turn in, but I didn't have any good ones to show on the video this time. And here we're just going to walk around a little bit. I'm going to ride him from the ground, and I'm focusing on making sure that he understands when my body is turned toward him, he does move out. When my body is turned away from him, he does turn in. So that's what we're practicing here. So the exercise here is to do that gnarly square that has the turn in on the corners and move out on the sides. And in between, I am making him practice stop and wait. So here he's doing a few steps of move out. I'm lifting my outside rein to ask him to stop. And
Yep.
he was staring at something outside the arena, so I gave him a little boink on the rein there to bring him back and tell him he's got to pay attention to me. Okay, there we did a turn in and stopped. And he is happy to wait as long as I want him to. He really did this exercise very well yesterday. Today, not as well, but um, every day we move forward a little bit, so I guess that's all I can expect. There I'm doing a turn in, stop, asking him to move out, a few steps, and then stop. So when I ask him to go, I'm asking him to step right into move out. I raise my inside hand, I give him a little bit of inside leg, and just ask him to move out a few steps. And then I halt him. I stop him. Brief wait there, and then we go on. Now I'm going to ask for a little turn in. Yep. And we stop. A little pat on the neck there. I don't know why I'm fidgeting so much, but I seem to do that a lot today. These riding breeches are not very comfortable. They're too tight in the knee, so they're always binding on my leg. So there I'm asking for some move out. And I think I just continue going with him around the circle here. So here I'm going to raise my outside hand to ask him to stop, and I also say ho. And he stopped pretty abruptly there. And I'm just asking him to wait and wait. And he gives a heavy sigh. And I think he'd stand there all day if I asked him to. So to ask him to go again, I'm lifting the inside rein and I'm asking him to move out, go right into move out. I stopped him with the outside rein. And he's waiting. He's being very obedient and quiet. And I stopped him again with the outside rein. He starts to look at something, and I pull on the inside rein a bit. I can just snap it a little to make him pay attention. He has always been very looky at things on the outside of the arena, and I never paid attention to it before we had that bucking episode. But since we did that, yeah, I'm paying a lot more attention to it. And here I'm going to turn him all the way around, do a turn in the other direction. So it's just more of the same in this direction. I'm doing a bit of move out here. And I'm going to raise the outside rein to stop him. And we're going to take a couple steps of turn in and stop. And we're going to do a few steps of move out and stop. And he's doing super good. We do a couple steps of move out, stop. And we're going to do a turn in, a couple of steps. Good boy. Now here I just wanted to see if he could take one step at a time and then stop. So I'm asking him to take one step of move out and then I stop him. And another step of move out. And I stop him. And he did good. Once again, he's staring at something outside the arena. So I'm boinking on the inside rein there to get his attention. I thought that was quite a good move out right there. And he stopped very crisply. And now I'm going to ask him to do a turn in. And then stop. I want him to soften up here. He doesn't soften very nicely. So I'm raising the inside rein, very softened, and I gave a little bit with my hands. But it looks like he's still paying attention to something outside the ring. So I asked him again. That was pretty good. Now when it comes time to do the rein back under saddle, I think he'll be all set, because he does it easily. He knows how to back up using his diagonal pairs of legs and keeping his head down. So he's golden on that.
Good boy.